Well, it's that time. Time to go hook up the truck and trailer and go grab that Ford 5000 from my home garage and bring it over here to the big shop. I've got some more welding to do to weld up those heat shields for the exhaust, and also some sort of brush guard. And also I got to get the bush hog all tuned up and ready to rock and roll. So this is the truck I've got now. In some of the older videos you guys would have seen the old red GMC 7000 that I used to have. I sold, updated to this one. This is an M11 Cummins with a 10-speed, air suspension, and a Fontaine fifth wheel. This one has the two 100-gallon diesel tanks. So going from a 427 gas job to a nice big diesel sure is a relief. And this is the trailer here that kind of showcase here for a second. I built these ramps on the back out of 6-inch channel iron, all updated with LED lights and everything. I got strobe lights, the whole 9 yards. It's an awesome little trailer. Makes hauling equipment very nice. I could haul this Ford 5000 with my pickup, but I like the brakes and everything on this truck, and I've got my CDL, so I don't mind taking this thing out. And it's good to exercise these trucks once in a while. This doesn't get a lot of use. So hook it up, we'll go from there. That air suspension is so nice when you've got old mechanical landing legs like this. Picks them right off the ground, saves a lot of messing around. The Ford 5000 that I have here is equipped with a Category 2 3-point hitch. This is also featuring these really awesome ends. So you can take these and completely unhook them from the tractor, so that whenever you're hooking up an implement, it's a lot easier on you. Also, I have a Category 1 drawbar on this tractor, which uses these little adapter balls. And I happen to have another one here that's a Category 2, which is a fair bit bigger, that we're going to hook up and use on the bush hog. This is the rotary cutter that I'm going to use with that Ford 5000. So I got this John Deere 6-foot bush hog. Whenever I bought my David Brown, the guy kind of included this with the tractor. I've never really used it. I've been using my Ford 8N with a 5-foot lamp rod. So I'm kind of anxious to see what this thing will do. This is quite a fair bit heavier, and that 8N wouldn't even touch this thing. You probably need a good 40 plus horse to run this bush hog. So I'm going to get this thing hooked up to that tractor. And one thing I got to do with this is the PTO lock is seized, and also the shaft itself doesn't slide in and out for the PTO, so that's got to be fixed. And also I got to take a peek inside the gearbox, because that fill plug right there has been broken for a while, and I'm sure that water's got in. But I'm anxious to see how this 5000 is going to do with this 6-footer. We'll get this thing hooked up. This is where these adjustable 3-point arms really come in handy. See how easy that was? Awesome. I've been weed whacking around that bush hog for far too long. It's been there about 1.5 years since I bought the David Brown. But anyway, look at this thing. This is an absolute unit. 6-footer. Almost makes the tractor look small. This thing is going to be a huge improvement, guys, over what I had before. So I mow about 30 acres, maybe 40 acres a year. And I was doing it before with a Ford 8N in a 5-foot land prod. So that, you know, if any of you guys have used a Ford 8N before, you'll know how difficult it is to mow with that old school manual PTO, and the PTO has to be spinning in order for the 3-point hitch to go up and down. This one has true independent PTO, and it's also got independent 3-point hitch. This thing is going to be a dream going from that 8N with like 27 horsepower to this one, which got right around 60 horsepower. This thing is going to be awesome with those wide rear tires. Man, I can't wait. I'm thinking this thing is going to be a beast. Just wanted to show you guys some of the specs on that John Deere cutter. So this is what they call a 609 series cutter. Might be kind of hard to read. The camera, GoPro, doesn't really focus sometimes all that great on small writing. But it says here that the gearbox, that giant gearbox, is rated for 100 horse. Also, the 609 weighs in at 1,016 pounds. That thing is a bear. That's a lot of good steel on that thing. Speaking of metal that the thing's made out of, check this out. The side walls of the machine are 1/4 inch thick, 6 millimeters. The deck thickness is 3.5 millimeters. That thing is rugged. Now that I've shown you guys how much this big rotary cutter weighs, over 1,000 pounds, I'll show you how this mighty Ford 5000 hoists this thing up in the air without a problem. And real quick, just in case any of you guys are curious, this big David Brown is what used to spin that rotary cutter. This is a 1212, and I'm going to have some videos of this thing coming up in the future. I'm going to give this thing probably a pretty good facelift. She's been worked hard all of its life, and you know, I think it really needs some attention. It's got the big diesel. This one's, I think, closer to 70 horse. It's got the same 18 4x30s that our Ford here has. This thing is a pretty darn heavy tractor. It gets stuck kind of easy unless you got some weight on the back. So that is what used to turn that cutter. Well, we made it in one piece, so that's always a plus. Got the tractor unloaded and ready to move on to the next project. So I guess that'll wrap up this video. Till the next one.